Hello, hello, hello. 4 springs in a row, parallel, identical springs. A bob suspended from the ceiling, which when the springs are extended and released, push the bob with a certain amount of energy that they've stored. We can measure the energy roughly to how high the bob goes to that marker. Sort of a quick release, a bit better than holding it with the hand. I'll push this off. It works quite well. Works good enough. This is good enough. The reason I'm doing this is because some people find it hard to believe that a spring, if doubly extended, contains 4 times the energy than if it's just half the extension. So in theory, with 4 springs at one extension, has the same energy as just 1 spring at double the extension. And we're going to test it because the bob should go to roughly the same height. In this position, the springs are unextended. In the first position, extending the springs to 1, the bob will be completely vertical from the launch position, which is what we want it vertical from the start of its journey. The trouble is, on the second extension, when the bob's vertical, there will be a gap between the block of wood and the bob, and if I let it go there, we lose a lot of energy in the collision. So what I've got to do, in the second position, there'll be a gap. So I've got to move the board that way, this distance, to close this gap. So actually you're moving the marker that distance. So it's a disadvantage the second run. So we wouldn't expect it to quite reach the same position as the first run, but give or take about that much short, because you have to move the board. I can't think of any other way of doing it. Anyway, that's the idea. I'll set up and we'll give it a go. Okay, 4 springs, 1 extension. It's quite dangerous, this. There's a lot of pressure and force there. I'm just going to push this quick release. Trouble is, to keep doing it, I've got to keep reattaching the springs. Hang on. Should be able to do it one more time. Get a rough idea. Job for me to see until I review the film, but I think it's just going over the top of the marker. So I'll set up for the 1 spring now. Okay, just a 1 spring now. Doubly extended. Bearing in mind it's got about an inch and a half further to go because I've had to move the board that much that way so that it's just touching in its vertical position. Anyway, here we go. I can reset this one. So that's just a 1 spring, this is doubly extended. It's got roughly the same energy, isn't it? Believe it or not. Let's have a swing. So just to be clear, that shows that, give or take a little bit, bearing in mind we've moved the board to the right, 1.5 inches or an inch. The 4 springs at 1 displacement only have the same energy as just 1 spring at double the displacement, as predicted by physics. So I hope you like that little demonstration. Bye for now.